Okay, so we're at the top. Not the top, the head's right there. But we're going down the underbelly of the lizard. I thought about something, about the reading that I did the other day. There was dark energy attached to it. Dark energy came in and attached to me. And it actually came in when we did our live feed. And as my soul family, I know that Sandy caught it. A lot of times I don't catch it myself. A lot of times I don't realize it's hit me. And I did say at the end, you know, a dark energy has just come over me like a wave. And I know why. I know what energy came in. I know now today. And I'm not going to send that reading out because that reading was infected. And I got that because Willow, this is embarrassing for Willow. Willow's got worms. She had them, I guess, when I got her. And she was very slim. It's funny, you know what? I took her to a Western doctor, right? A veterinarian. And they diagnosed her with all kinds of things she didn't have. And they didn't diagnose the most basic thing. So I got some holistic medicine, and my landlord said he just got it. So thank God we're going home tomorrow and Willow can get it. But it was an infestation. Something got inside of her, and it was making her sick. Her stomach was hurting. I said that my stomach hurt. And that energy just felt bad to me. And when I did the reading, there were so many I kept trying to make it more positive, but it wasn't. Because I was still connected to this dark energy. I've taken care of it since then. But it makes a big difference. And I think about my son. He's got low blood sugar, right? And people that have low blood sugar or, you know, diabetes or whatever, I think it's low blood sugar, maybe it's the same thing. They often don't realize when their blood sugar levels are dropping. We realize because we're looking at it from the outside and we can see, whoa, what's going on? His mood would shift, right? He would start getting very quiet, and then he would get very sullen, and then he would just get downright mean. And I would say, okay, Devin, you need to eat. And he's like, I'm fine. I'm fine, Mom. And I'm like, you're not fine. You're not fine. You're miserable. And your blood, and I didn't even know at the time. I was a young mother, right? I didn't know about it. I figured it out later, and we made sure that when he started to get real quiet, I'd say, have you eaten? Because he's a workaholic. We all are in our family. And he would start working, and the time would go by, and he would forget to eat. I do all the time. I forget to eat, I forget to drink. Spirit reminds me. They will literally, today, I was putting things away, and I was kind of rushing around trying to get out the door so I could get on this hike and do the reading with you guys. And I hadn't drank my water. I hadn't eaten my NutriBar. I don't even remember if I had breakfast. And I put something down, and the water bottle fell in front of me, and I'm like, ugh, picked it up. And then the Nutri-Grain bar fell in front of me, and I'm like, God, why is everything falling? Because I had helpers helping me. And I've asked Sandy and Gina if they notice when I do a soul family chat, if they see my energy all of a sudden drastically change, to say something. But that's putting a lot of pressure on other people, right? Maybe she just really feels that way. Maybe she's just in a mood, but I'm not, and I wasn't, and it dipped, and I kept saying, I don't want to fight with my soul family. But the thing is, I wasn't fighting with my soul family. My soul family, my friend Ingrid, we've been friends for years. She knows I love her. And it was the full moon. It was Mercury retrograde. We have to be careful with we say things or the way we interpret things, right? But it wasn't that. I said it happened for a reason, and it did. It happened to show me how fast our energy shifts when dark energy comes in. And I'm going to talk to Sandy. I talked to Ingrid afterwards, and we're good, right? And I listened back to myself, and I handled it pretty good. Like, I held it back until the very, very last, and I was just, you could see that all of a sudden, my energy had been completely drained. I had an energy vampire in the feed the entire time, pulling my energy. And I know who it is. And it's been blocked. And I said, and I make it very clear, and I'll state it again, I won't ever mention the name. I'm not going to give the person that much energy. But I give you back all of your energy, and I take all of my energy back. And any energy that you send me, I send back to you 100-fold. So, I hope what you send is going to be pleasant. It's not going to feel too good for you. And it's interesting to me because, as I said then, spiritual people, they understand that. And that's why we're careful. And that's why we check ourselves. And we see, was somebody acting out of the ordinary? Were they behaving in a manner that wasn't normal for them? Did it happen quickly? Something's up. It's not them. Sometimes it's alcohol. Sometimes it's drugs. Sometimes it's toxic friends. Frenemies. People that call themselves that. That day, we were given the silver siren. The silver siren entered our chat. The person was going to be charming and flattering and present themselves as a spiritual person, right? They tipped me off, however. I started thinking back about comments made, and I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make me look like I'm crazy, make me look like I'm a bitch and difficult to get along with, make me look like I'm judgmental, and I'm the least judgmental person. Look how cool is that? Oh, I love that. We'll go down there. We're going to do all of this. We're going to do all of this. Oh, I love this. So I know what they were trying to do, and they're not going to do it because the love that my soul family and I have between us, within ourselves, is too strong to let a misunderstanding get in the way and disturb things. But as was shown before, Spirit said to me, there's going to be, they told me of an instance that's what was going to occur. And it was going to confuse me, possibly. God, I love this. And they said, I think I had a reading before that, but Spirit told me, we'll tip you off, because I asked for that. I said, show me. Put a big, bold sign. Oh, look. Oh, look. Look at the arches. Those are angel wings. Oh my gosh. I gotta stand in front of that. See if I can make it happen. Where is it? Oh, I've got to get a little higher. Wonder, but I won't be able to. Maybe if I stand there. Just a sec. How many people have tried to do this, right? I don't know, but that's really, really super cool. Maybe I can superimpose a picture because that's super cool. That's Archangel Michael showing up in the elemental form. You can see that, right? You can see that. Connected right at the, what is that called? The vertebrae. I saw the vertebrae yesterday, remember? I said that a cougar had taken this pig, this wild pig, into the cave and had eaten it, shredded it, and they did. Yes, she did. So there's the wings. Thank you, Archangel Michael. And look at the face right there. It's the face of a cat. Mouth is open, the eyes. Ooh, I know those eyes. And look at the little cat's ear. Listening. Good. I asked if you were hearing me. I called and I said, open up, I'm channeling you. There's the channel. And your ear's open. You're hearing because you're connecting to Spirit. Now, that's another message. Okay, so I said to Spirit, show me. Light it up. And they said, you won't make a mistake. You won't make a mistake. There's going to be something that's going to tip you off. And so the one who came back from my past, he tipped me off. There was no, it wasn't a temptation. Spirit says that they're putting a temptation in front of you. Now, it wasn't a temptation for me because I am so rock solid loyal and I know where I'm going and I know what's best for me. But I was tempted to allow that person back into my life as a friend. And they said something that threw it sideways. And I told them, well, you just called it. By what you just said, you made it clear. Blessings on your journey. So that was dealt with, right? And it doesn't mean that that person will never be my friend again. Although I did hear from Spirit yesterday that one person wants to be friends and the other person wants more than friends. So that situation, there won't be anything more than friends. But I would like to be your friend. I know that you've got good in you, and I choose to see the good in everybody, right? But if somebody comes into our family, soul family feed, and they're only there for 10 minutes, and they 100% drain my energy to the point where all kinds of chaos and confusion show up, that is not a friend. I don't care what you call yourself. Can you see the figure right there? You see the mother? This is the goddess. This is the empress. See the belly button? And she's just pregnant, or maybe she's just had a baby. You can see her chest, her breast, her long hair. She's leaning against the mountain again, right? When the great wave comes, go to the mountain. And that's what she's doing. When the great wave, whenever the great wave of emotion hits you, in whatever it is that you're going through, that's when we go to Spirit for help. So then, as I was saying, I was looking back, thinking back about this conversation, the different conversations. I don't normally carry on conversations privately with men, woo, unless it's spiritual, like a reading or something. I try not to be rude, but sometimes I have to be because they don't take the hint. But this person is supposedly a very spiritual person. Now, you can study all kinds of things. You can study people. You can learn what's important to them. You can learn how to talk to them. But they messed up. Something they said, a couple things actually, but specifically one thing they said, a spiritual person would never say, not a real spiritual person. So, and sometimes, we want to check ourselves because we don't want to go around assuming the worst of people, right? We don't want to look at things in a negative fashion, because in that way we're drawing that negative energy towards us. But if we just got a message that there is a silver siren about to show up and you need to say in no uncertain terms, go away. When you figure it out, and sometimes, like I said, it looks pretty, right? It could be an opportunity, it could be a frenemy, it could be a woman, it could be a man, it could be a job, an organization, a company, it could be family. But if you get that feeling, you need to ask yourself, how do I feel? My girlfriend said to me, what did you feel with that energy? Did you feel a connection? And I said, I definitely felt energy, but not in a good way. It was confusing. It confused me why the energy was there. So to me, I feel as though that one's most likely connected to someone that I'm actually close to. But when you get a feeling, trust the feelings that you get. That's your intuition. A lot of times you'll get a chill, sometimes you'll get a warm flush, other times it's just an uneasy feeling, other times it's confusion. Why do I feel so confused? Why all of a sudden do I not feel happy? Why am I sad? Why do I feel combative? Because it's the energy. That energy that's coming to you is disguised in a gentle, loving, kind way. But it isn't. It's combative, and that's why you felt that energy. So it could have affected it would have. Like, you guys I know a lot of you want to know, my girlfriend that was waiting, I said to her, oh my gosh, you're going to love today's reading. Because it wasn't all negative, right? The messages were dead on. They were appropriate. But my energy was affected, and my delivery was jeopardized, compromised. I was compromised. And it would have made, first of all, it would have made me look bad. And I don't mean just, because I don't fake it. And I was even saying in the reading, I know I'm arguing with this. I know what Spirit's telling us. It's very clear, and yet I was arguing with what Spirit was saying. Because that's what's actually going on. With this energy that was sapping my energy, that same energy is sapping the energy of someone I love very much. And it's causing them to be confused. And it's manipulation. This person is a master manipulator. They've been doing it their whole lives. Since childhood, it's how they got where they are. Some people do the work. Other people learn how to ride on the coattails of the other ones in their life. We've got basically Cinderella and the stepsister or stepbrother, right? Or cousin or uncle or whoever. But that one, they know what they're doing. They're good at it. They're good at it. And empaths, it's the classic tale of the narcissist and the empath, right? We all know the tale. We all want to believe that we're going to catch it. Well, we won't get caught in that trap. But that just shows, it doesn't show that you're weak. It doesn't show that you are not advanced spiritually. What it shows is that you are loving and you are kind and you want to see the best in everybody. That's what it shows you. And it's sad that we have to harden up. But remember, we were shown in the reading, in a live Soul Family chat, how Alice was crying in this pool of tears, right? She was the one who was crying that made all the tears up to her waist. I remember my twin soul and I, oh God, probably 7 years ago, I had a dream and I saw him in a dark blue business suit standing facing the ocean. And he had his hands clenched at his side. And I said, "What are you doing in the water? Won't that ruin your suit?" And he said, "My suit will dry out. I have to stand this way. If I don't, I'll kill him." And I said, "Who? What did he do?" And he said, "A man hurt a girl, and I wasn't able to stop him." Now, looking back, look at that heart. That's cute. Looking back, I'm asking myself, did he say a man hurt a girl, or did he say a man hurt a child? I feel more that he said a man hurt a child, but it could have been, because it would be an inner child as well, right? It could have been like a childlike energy, a very innocent energy, a receptive, open, loving, happy energy. You know, people, when readers read my twin soul and I'm read as a much younger fire sign, and he's read as an older person to me. He's a very old soul, and I have a very, very youthful way of looking at life, childlike way of looking at life. And he is the businessman. He's very intelligent. He's very capable, and he works way too much. And so that's what I'm seeing, is those tears that Alice was crying all the way up to her waist. They were her own tears, and she could stop that turbulent situation. And what she saw, and I'm not talking about my twin being Alice, I'm talking about me being Alice in the pool of tears. And in that sea of saltwater tears, there was a crab and there was a rat, right? And people, there's the goddess right there. Look at her belly button. It's got actually a symbol on it. Her chest, her eyes, her nose, her chin. She almost looks like an Egyptian bride, because on top of her head she's carrying, it's a crown of plenty. And she's protected, right? You'll always see the guardians. And what I was told was this master manipulator is a guardian of my twin soul. And so anyway, the crab and the rat. Now people will look at the rat and they'll say, that dirty rat, right? But in all actuality, I've spoken of this before, I had pet rats when I was a kid. I loved them. They're very sweet, they're very loving. They're very, very smart. They're very hard workers, and they're incredibly clean. And I had somebody in my life who was a Cancer crab. That person loved me, but we were like oil and water. We didn't mix very well. I know that they loved me, but they didn't understand me, and they didn't know how to express themselves. They had a hard time with showing affection properly, and they were very controlling. And basically, it was their way. They were very manipulative as well. They manipulated my life. They lied. They caused really horrible things to happen to me, things that could never be undone. And I know that Spirit has already shown us that due to the lies and manipulation, they have kept my twin soul and I apart for many, many years. But they won't be allowed. This is not going to be a situation that's going to repeat history, because I wasn't wise to what happened. I wasn't wise to what was going on with the person. The person was very, very close to me. The person was my parent. And never in my wildest dreams would I believe that someone who loved me would lie and manipulate my life and cause me to lose someone that I loved so much. And even though they watched me in excruciating pain, in their mind, they felt that the pain was worth, the sacrifice was worth whatever it was that they were going to gain. They felt that they were doing something for my highest good. They didn't believe in what I saw. I saw the best qualities in this person. They didn't. They were very focused on material, money, and the physical world. I'm not that person. And that has a mirrored situation that's occurred in my life many times. And once we figure out the lesson, we won't be given that lesson again. Now, unfortunately for me, I knew a while back who it was. I would get confused sometimes, and because I would really want to believe it wasn't true. I wanted to not believe the worst, but it's just impossible to do. I have to. The evidence is overwhelming. So it's best to cut the association off. It's not someone that is my friend. It's not someone that wants what's in my highest good, that's for sure. And they absolutely don't want what's in my spiritual twin's highest good. He may not want to see that yet. I think he's way smarter than they know. He's very smart. He's the rat. He's super smart. Rats can get out of anything. They get a bum rap. So I'm just trusting in Spirit to handle it and to know that it's going to be taken care of. I don't have to learn this lesson again. I've already learned it. He had to learn it too. And that's why the time frame, right? Why it's gone on so long. He didn't want to see it the way it was, because it's upsetting. I didn't want to see it the way it was either. I'm no smarter than him. And even though I've had it proven to me over and over again, I've still gone back on what I was shown, because I wanted to believe the best. So I'm not upset with my twin in any way. It just shows again what a beautiful, loving, gentle energy he is. There's the lizard's head right there. The lizard's head's been exposed. He's looking away from me. And what's really sucky about that is that they will do things, they will pretend to be the person that you care about. And so then you think that the person you care about has said those things to you or about you and have those feelings about you, when in all actuality it couldn't be further from the truth. The person that my mom did this to, it was my son's father, and it was, I can't tell you what, 35 years ago? I don't know how many years ago, way more than that. 40 years ago? No, how old am I? Oh, not that long ago. He came back years later and apologized. He told me everything. And what sucks is, he told me what she had done. And I said, why didn't you tell me? And he said he just felt bad about himself. And she knew what to say to make him feel bad about himself. And he believed what she said. He believed that I would be better off without him. And I told you that 6 years ago, my twin phoned me energetically. I said hello, and he didn't answer. But this other person in the background said, leave her alone, you'll only hurt her. Besides, she's in love with this other person. And he thought, you're right, I'll just hurt her. And he believed it. And I screamed in the background, no, it's not true. It's a lie. Don't believe them. You know better than that. You know deep down inside that's not the truth. You know I've always loved you. You know how loyal I am. It isn't a matter of not having trust in me. It was a matter of not having belief in himself. And trusting someone that should have loved him. So years and years later, my ex came back to me, many times actually, and asked me to marry him again. He'd gone on and gotten married, and he had a baby. He ended up living with the person for 5 years. They had a miserable marriage. They never got along. She was a full-on narcissist because he's an empath. And found out after 5 years of paying for her and the child that baby wasn't his. I've seen that too, being mirrored again. The child was someone he called his brother. He ended up raising that child though, because that person went to jail. And he's a good person. It wasn't the child's fault. The child loved him. And I gotta tell you, my mother did terrible things. I asked her years later, when she had reawakened, if she had done that. And her response, look at my legs. Tons of cactus. I gotta get them out, hold on. Her response was, I'm not the same person I was then. And I said, you did that. You stole my husband. You stole my child's father. And he was raised by the one you chose. Because they chose somebody else for me that was more suitable. Somebody who had a really good job and had an upstanding family, a community, right? That person was abusive to me and extremely abusive to my son. My son is extremely affected still by that. And she couldn't go back. There was nothing she could do. She had a really hard time apologizing. And we didn't discuss it after that. It was over. It was too late. I had moved on, and it broke his heart because he had never moved on. And now we're in the same story in reverse because my twin moved on and I have never moved on. And it broke my heart because I've never loved anyone like that in my life. My first husband was a shadow, a mirror of what was to come, a foreshadow of what was going to come to me in my life. And Spirit told me it was going to be really hard, the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And it has been. But they said, you will be rewarded. You will get what you deserve. And remember, when it gets really, really bad, remember what we say. He's innocent. I remember that when I'm outside. So, it's a personal message that I just gave you. But I know that there are other people that are affected in the same way. And the thing is, this one that did that said that, had the opportunity to apologize and to tell the truth. We were given that message again and again. You need to tell the truth. There's somebody who knows. You need to tell the truth. And when you tell, people are going to be upset at first. Very upset. You're going to pay. In the short run, you're going to have to pay. But in the long run, it'll work out for everyone. There'll be a blessing for everyone involved. And the only way that this can happen is if you are brave, courageous, trust in spirit, and really love the person that you hurt. You will be forgiven, and everything will move forward in a positive way. They were given that opportunity, and they didn't do it. They still have the opportunity to do it, but I gotta tell you, as time goes on, it's harder and harder. I've never been so hurt in my entire life. Never been so devastated. Ever. Because that person that was my mother did this to was a foreshadow of this one to come, but this one is my twin soul. This one is the love of my life. Has been for 21 and a half years, since the second we reconnected in the physical. So I'm imploring you, if you love that one as much as you say that you do, or that you think that you do, please tell them the truth. He's gonna be angry. He's gonna be very angry. But he is such a loving person. He will forgive you. And whenever I would say to my kids, you know, when I would say, I want you to tell me the truth, tell me the truth, I would say it because I already knew. And I told you, the one they call that dirty rat, he's smart. And I'm sure he already knows. And it breaks his heart. He wants you to tell him. He wants you to be the one to say it. That's why he's holding out. He didn't want to have to be the one to walk away. He wanted to be the one to be able to say to you, thank you for telling me. Thank you for loving me enough to give me the truth. I forgive you. And that way, it wouldn't have been a total loss. And I've asked Spirit, please. I said I don't want to fight with you. Remember the butterfly that was the guillotine? The one that wanted to say off with your head? The queen? I said I don't want to fight with you. I'm going to take this guillotine and I'm going to put it in the peace pipe. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I don't want to fight with you. I'm not going to give you my energy in a negative way. And that's what I said. And that's what Spirit told us a while back in our reading. Use your energy, use your gifts to get what you want. And I don't mean material things. I don't mean winning. I mean justice. I mean this. Use your gifts. And the nebula. That was my message. I was the nebula. The cosmic nebula. And in that story, the nebula doesn't fight the way that they fight. They use love. And vibrate that frequency out. Sorry, I can't see very well. Ooh, sitting on a cactus needle. There we go. Okay. All right, so this story is over. I'm going to record our reading. So I'm going to let you guys go. This is where we're at. We're at the top. I can't get any higher. All right, I'll go out and I'll show you where we're at. I can't get any higher from where I'm at anyway. We're right up at the goddess. And the lizard's on the other side, which is good because I see his shifty eye right through there. I gotta keep my distance from the lizard people. Thank you. The Anunnaki. See, my twin told me when I very first met him that he was half Anunnaki, and I said, that's okay. You're half angel too. And light always wins over darkness. And all Anunnaki aren't bad. A lot of the Anunnaki are helping others. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.